This is the Gentex GMS, and it is quite possibly the coolest Gentex product that you forgot existed. This particular GMS's full model number is GMS-24-110WR, 24 standing for 24 volt operating voltage, 110 standing for the candela brightness of the strobe, W standing for wall mount, and R denoting the color, which is red on this particular unit. The Gentex GMS is very interesting in the fact that it is one of Gentex's first release notification appliances for the market, alongside the SHG and the Gentex Commander 1 ST24. Introduced in the mid to late 1990s, this is the only mechanical horn Gentex had in their lineup. At the time this was introduced, most horn strobes were moving toward mechanical solid-state electronics due to durability and increased output. However, I fail to understand why Gentex found value in keeping a mechanical horn in their lineup when they already had the SHG and Commander 1. This is also a similar move made by Simplex with their 4903 series, also keeping electronic and mechanical horn strobe variant in their lineup. As a result, the GMS production run was very limited. As you can see, this unit has a date code of 10/13/1997. I do not have an exact date of when they stopped producing these. However, I can only imagine it was very soon after, as the industry moved toward electronic horns in favor of mechanical horns, as the mechanical horn era slowly came to an end. And with that, let's start the review. First, I'll take you on a thorough tour of the Gentex GMS, then I'll show you this unit's quirks and features, and finally at the end, I'll give it an NJ score. But before we start, be sure to check out Fire Safety Sales LLC on eBay. This is my eBay store where we have a wide variety of alarms for sale at a great price. Right now we have this Gamewell Sentry with the rare key locking plate for sale. We sold out a few weeks ago and got 2 more in, so those are for sale right now. And we also have the GMSs featured in this video. So be sure to check out Fire Safety Sales _LLC, link is in the description. Alright, let's talk Gentex GMS. So the first thing you see when you look at the front of this unit is the big strobe that sticks about 2.5 inches from the unit. This is very similar to the Wheelock MT of the time. This is Gentex's 3rd generation strobe on this body style of unit. The first would be on the first Gentex GXS, which did not have a reflector. The 2nd generation, which I do have an example of here on a GXS, has this texturing on the front of the reflector. And the 3rd generation has the clear reflector right here. And this is where we run into our first quirk. The Gentex GMS, although produced in a very short span, had more than one strobe configuration. Here's a GMS also manufactured in 1997. However, notice that the strobe is the textured variant. This is the 2nd generation strobe, and the reflection dynamics on this are different than the one pictured right here. Another quirk with this strobe is that the GXS strobe actually is interchangeable with the GMS strobe. So the way you would do that is you come around to the back here, and you'd remove this mechanical horn, and you'd see 2 tabs at the top and bottom, pop those out, and then you take your GXS, you pop these 2 tabs out, and you can actually swap strobes with your Gentex GMS. Taking a look at the face of the unit, you'll notice 2 mounting holes in the opposite corners. However, if you zoom in on this bottom corner here, you'll see this fake knockout. That's actually, according to Gentex, a beauty plate, and you can punch those out and switch those around according to how you mount this on the electrical box, so you don't have extra holes being left uncovered. Taking a look at the horn grill on this unit, it's certainly very interesting, and it also appears to support the strobe in the middle here. It's kind of like this half semicircle target thing, and is certainly something you would not see on units today. Coming around to the back of the unit, we don't have too much that's interesting. However, we do have this big electromechanical horn mechanism on the back. Taking a closer look, this is a 4-wire unit, 2 screws for strobe connection, 2 for horn. These jumpers right here lead to your strobe. They also have these quick disconnects, so you can swap out the strobe if need be. We have this black cover covering the circuit board for the horn. Very nice touch. And we also have our UL sticker along with our date code in the bottom right corner right here. Another lesser known fact about the GMS is that it actually shares horns with the Simplex 4903 electromechanical horn strobes. That's right, Faraday manufactured horns for both Simplex and Gentex, meaning this is effectively a 4903 in an SHG body. Taking a look at the mechanism itself, for those who don't know, in very simple terms, by sending an electrical signal down to this hammer, it strikes this shaped piece of metal and gives you your slightly raspy but very loud horn tone. Electronic horns have a very hard time replicating this tone and is very distinct when set off. All of the GMS models operated on 24 volts DC, which is the most common standard for fire alarm systems today. However, there were multiple strobe options. You can get these in 15, 1575, 30, 60, 75, and 110 candela options, along with a horn-only version, which was called the GM-24. Another small quirk on the back is that you have this sticker here that says is approved by the City of New York Board of Standards and Appeals, just in case you wanted to install your GMS in New York City. And those are the quirks and features of the Gentex GMS. Now let's go ahead and see and hear how this thing performs. Alright, now for the NJ score. The NJ score consists of 5 categories: ease of installation, predicted durability, output and functionality, aesthetics, and cool factor, and is given a score out of 10 for each of these categories, totaling 50 points. All of these are based on my opinions and my hands-on experience with these devices. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting with ease of installation, this unit has 4 selectable mounting holes on the front, so you can mount it in whatever orientation you want to a standard double gang back box. It is also 4 wires, so you can do selective silence, and it uses terminals instead of wire leads, which is very nice. However, it does not have a removable mounting bracket, and it also is very thick and heavy, being a mechanical horn, so I gave this a 6 out of 10. For durability, it is not uncommon to see this generation of Gentex products with broken off strobes. This is because they are secured by 2 plastic tabs on the back of the unit, while competitors used screws. And these are also mechanical horns, meaning they have moving parts and they are bound to fail, so I gave this a 3 out of 10. The horn output on these are good, measured at 105 decibels at 10 feet. However, the horns do tend to go raspy over time. The strobes are offered up to 110 candela in brightness. However, they are non-syncable and non-field selectable. Also, this unit uses a vertical strobe configuration, which is less efficient than a horizontal, square, or circular strobe configuration in terms of coverage, so I gave this a 6 out of 10. The overall design on these units is clean and simple, not ugly but not anything unique. The boxy styling and the fire lettering do date this unit some, and it also shares some characteristics with a Wheelock MT, so I gave this a 6 out of 10. And finally, cool factor. There weren't a ton of these produced, meaning there weren't too many installed in favor for electronic horn strobes, and there are even less in service today. And this also came from the era of mechanical horn strobes, which is not seen anymore today, making them collectible, so I gave this a 7 out of 10. Totaling up all the points from these 5 categories, and we get a total NJ score of 28 out of 50. Here's how it ranks on our charts. This is the first alarm I've reviewed, so there are no other comparison alarms. However, stay tuned to see how it stacks up against future contenders. Here's how it ranks on our charts. This is the first alarm I've reviewed, so there are no other comparison alarms. However, stay tuned to see how it stacks up against future contenders. And that is the Gentex GMS. It's the forgotten brother of the Gentex SHG in an era where the transition to electronic horns was becoming more and more popular. Be sure to check out my other reviews. It's good to be back, and thank you guys for watching.